The Middle East never sleeps. It's absolutely crazy though, because the Israeli military just have announced that it have begun to strike the terrorist infrastructure in Lebanon and other additional targets across southern Lebanon. Also, this is a cover for tank somewhere in Gaza, and Hamas stated that they have destroyed more than 1,000 of them. However, this is not even the number of active tanks which the IDF currently have, so they're stating a higher number which does not even exist. However, at the same time, we see how Gaza is destroyed, so you can imagine which version is right. Also, basically the chef or the boss, named Qassem, of the terrorist organization Lebanon, stated in a written letter that he categorically rejects direct negotiations with Israel, also that the Lebanese government must hold direct negotiations. Well, lastly, he stated that they will not abandon the weapons and the Israeli enemy will not remain on a single inch of our occupied land. Probably the terrorist and Qassem, the leader of the terrorist organization, states for his own organization that they are occupying Lebanon and holding it hostage. And we'll see if his delusional demand that they will not give up their weapons will remain. You all know it, there are two options, the easy or the hard way, and it seems he wants to experience the hard one, so we will see what will happen. The Israeli army also located a weapons storage facility with all kinds of weapons. This inside a children's room in Lebanon. Some of the weapons were explosives, Kalashnikovs, grenades, RPGs, machine guns, munitions, and combat equipment. We got also informed that the IDF forces continue to destroy terror infrastructure and eliminate terrorists in southern Lebanon. And yesterday we got informed that armed tried to cross the yellow line and attack the IDF forces. However, the terrorists got eliminated immediately. We also see that the United States South Command have annihilated a boat full of narco-terrorists heading to the United States. In total, 3 of the terrorists were killed, while 0 United States troops got harmed. We got also informed that the Iranian terror regime have arrested 9 people in the Kaman province in Iran, and they got accused of espionage. This is according to the Tasnim News, which is affiliated to the IRGC. Remember, the same terror regime that killed about 40,000 people is saying that they want to protect its own people. So you can figure out for yourself if this is true or a blatant lie. The Iran's parliament speaker Muhammad Bakr Ghalibaf also stated that he's proud to be one of these 30 million sacrifices. However, I never saw any Iranian politician sacrifice for the people, but instead use them as human shields, so they get killed, while the Iranian heads hide in deep underground bunkers. We got also reports that state that the talks between Israel and Lebanon remain stuck, so there's no real progress towards an agreement because of the terrorist organization who is actively blocking any advancement, so we will see what will happen here. Also, we got an image here that showcases Iran's 3-stage plan. And if we click on this image, we see the 3 points over here. First one, Iran wants to terrorist Lebanon and his own country not to get attacked anymore for their terrorist activities, also to have complete control over the strait, and talks on a nuclear program will only begin after the first 2 conditions are met, basically saying we're not going to do anything related to the nuclear issue, but of course, they're giving their pinky promise. Also, as we all know, Iran wants to get a compensation for the war damage they caused on their own country. We were also informed that a suspected terrorist drone launched from Lebanon triggered sirens across the western Galilee. However, the IDF lost contact with the aerial target, so the IDF assumes it likely crashed. And we also got the image here, and if we click on this image, you can see the different type of drones Iran is using, and also maybe even Lebanon, but most of the time Iran. You can see the size of the drones here. They're kept small, so they are less frequently discovered. Also, it allows the drone to weigh less, so the speed is higher, and the range is from 120 to up to 900 kilometers. We would also inform that 4 IDF soldiers were injured after a Humvee overturned at the military base in southern Israel, while 1 soldier got seriously wounded, another one got moderately wounded, and 2 only sustained light injuries. And every single of these soldiers got treated in a hospital, and of course I wish the soldiers a speedy recovery. Also, the Netanyahu testimony got cancelled, so the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is accused of a crime, and instead of their hearing, it was cancelled at last moment because of the reason of security diplomatic reasons that Israel is facing. And oh, what's that? We got a meme over here. What seems to be a milk bottle, and on it's the picture of the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and it states that he was last seen with 6 fingers. If you remember, this was a moment where the president was seen in a video with 6 fingers. However, this is a long time ago, and the president appeared many times after that in television and spoke with different persons. However, this happens if you follow only propaganda news and actually do not see the truth, because this guy thinks he's dead. We got also confirmed that so far 90 kilometers of Hamas tunnels got destroyed and 70 terrorists eliminated. I personally assume these numbers are only after the ceasefire took in effect, but of course I cannot be for sure. In these tunnels, living headquarters and large quantities of weapons were found, while of course the Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi visited Russia and spoke with Putin, and he said that the whole world witnessed Iran's rank in confronting America. And of course, I'm 100% sure he does not believe it himself, but of course he needs to say it because of the media. And he stated further that it became clear that the Islamic Republic of Iran is stable, strong, and effective regime. And again, you can make yourself opinion if this is true, if Iran is in stable condition with inflation, and if Iran is strong after basically all the air defense systems got destroyed and the infrastructure massively weakened. Additionally, the head of Iran got killed with many more officials. He further stated that it became clear that Iran has great friends and allies such as Russia. And lastly, he stated that he thanks Putin for the position and support. Also, we got confirmed that the IDF is ready to take both offensive and defensive operations. Targets have already been identified, while Israel is awaiting a United States green light before acting. We also confirmed that the IDF groups in southern Lebanon located multiple terrorist weapons depots that included anti-tank explosive RPGs, explosive drones, assault rifles, and so on. And if you click on these images, we see all the weapons over here. However, we also see this small kind of drones. I assume they're getting used for transporting munition and so on, because a bomb will not fit on them, maybe a grenade. However, drones become a real problem in modern warfare, so we'll see if the terrorist organization will use them on a bigger scale. I assume they will, so Israel must get prepared. Also, we got showcased how a tunnel looks in the Gaza Strip. So as you can see here, this is a room with weapons and all kind of stuff. And of course, this raises the question, could those same resources go toward hospitals, schools, ports, or even more open economic cooperation? Because of course, children and the people of Gaza cannot eat ammunition. We were also informed that the Lebanese president have accused the terrorist organization of betrayal. He stated that when you saw the terrorist organization through this war, did you have national consensus? He also rejected a claim that negotiations with Israel are surrender, and stated that southern Lebanon is paying the price for wars serving Gaza and Iran, not Lebanon. He further stated that if the war were for Lebanon, we would support it, but it is not. And he calls the terrorist organization's actions the real betrayal. So we see once again how the terrorist organization of Lebanon wants to accuse the Lebanese government for their own actions of supporting Iran. Also lastly, Marco Rubio stated to Fox that what Iran means by opening the strait is that the strait is open as long as you coordinate with Iran and get their permission, or they will blow you up and you pay for it. And he further stated that that's not opening the strait. Those are international waterways, and the United States cannot tolerate a system in which Iran decides who gets to use an international waterway and how much you have to pay to them for using it.